On the bottom, Paige. You were good. I'm waiting for you to be great. And next, Kendall. You didn't stick out to me. Next is Brooke. Next, Nia. You're third on the pyramid. You were third overall high score. And Mackenzie. And on top of the pyramid, going 3 for 3, once again, is Maddie.
Red flags when dating. Too much too soon. He's all in love with you. He wants you to meet his family. He can't see himself without you. Grandiose acts of kindness. He want to buy you stuff. He want to take you on trips. He planning y'all life together. Red flag. He doesn't want to take you anywhere. It's always, oh, y'all can't never go out. It's come over here or you will go over there. Never answers his phone past a certain hour. Baby, red flag. The only time you talk to him is when it's an outgoing call. Like, if you call him off the fly, he don't answer, but he'll call you back. Red flag. Won't add you to social media. You can't even see his social media. You don't even know his handle. Red flag. Tell you crazy stories about his ex. He never talks to you at home. He's either in his car, at a store, he's out, but you never talk to him at home. Red flag. Has your emotions all over the place. Hot, cold. You just can't figure him out. Inconsistent with communication. He calls you, and then 2 days go past. He calls you, skip a couple days. Always canceling or rearranging. Red flag.
Hey, my Halloween babes, it's your girl Bella Dyor, and welcome back to day 3 of our 10 days till Halloween special. Today, we're going to be talking about the creepy red flags that you should never ignore in men. Whether it's a new date or someone you've been seeing for a little while, there are certain behaviors that should make you hit the exit door ASAP. So, let's watch as we break down the most chilling warning signs and share advice on when to trust your gut and run. Don't forget our 31% off digital products at Rych Milan Co. that ends October 31st. No code needed. Tune in every single day for more Halloween content to keep you on your toes. Let's get started.
You are in an abusive relationship if he does these 3 things. I'm serious. I'm going to tell you 3 red flags right now that if he does these, he is toxic or abusive and you should get the fuck out of there. First one's pretty obvious, but it has to be said. It's when he raises his voice at you, shouts at you, or displays any sort of aggression towards you when you guys are having an argument. Yes, this includes cursing and breaking stuff. Number 2 is when he puts the blame on you, or he tries to make it feel like every problem, mistake, or bad thing going on is your fault. Not only the blame game, but also he tries to make a point out of making you feel really bad for making any mistakes. Red flag number 3 is when he insults you, degrades you, or makes you feel dumb in front of other people, and then he just plays it off as a joke. Honestly, this red flag is kind of a mindfuck, because any way that you try to argue with him or try to tell him that you don't like what he's doing, he's going to try to find a way to justify it and tell you that either you're being too sensitive or that he was just joking around and you don't know how to take a joke. So either way, you lose. Look, I'm not your dad. I'm not here to tell you that you should leave him or that you should stay, but you should leave him. Seriously, I'm just here to bring awareness to the fact that you could be in a toxic and abusive relationship. So you communicate with him, seek help, talk to someone else, or leave his ass. But whichever way you go, please don't stay in a situation like this. Seriously.
This is a major red flag if a guy you're interested in does this. Check this out.
These red flags. He's a mystery. If he's a mystery and unknowable, run. Run. Mystery. Because see, some of y'all date some fine, mysterious people. But he fine, though, he fine. But he's very vague in conversation. So where you live? Yeah, you know. Where you work? Center City? Where you go to church? I've been looking around. Like, if it's constant vagueness, you need to run.
Women, the biggest red flag to avoid in a guy is a guy that actually does not like you, but he likes the fact that you like him. This is the type of guy that would text you sporadically throughout the day, no real conversation, no real meaning to the conversation, never wanting to take you out, but he knows that deep down inside you like him and he doesn't like you. He loves that attention that he's getting from you. He loves that he has you wrapped all around his finger, and he thinks that you won't go anywhere because you like him so much. And as bad as it sounds, men don't have many options like women. So if he sits here and thinks that you like him a lot, he's going to do everything to try to keep you around to make it seem like that he actually has more options than he does. And that, unfortunately, may come with him not necessarily fully liking you and just stringing you along, saying what you want to hear at the time just to keep you around. If they're not showing interest, it's time to leave them.
A common toxic relationship red flag every person looking for a healthy relationship should know. Doesn't matter your age, gender, status, sexual preference. Tell your mother, father, sister, brother. Because while it doesn't happen in every toxic relationship, it's one of the most common and usually happens in the first 6 to 9 months. And because you've never experienced this, you might not recognize it at first. The type of toxic partner to do this is insecure, jealous, and controlling. They fear your independence from them and want to break down your confidence because that's how small they feel inside. When you first meet them, they'll express admiration for you and you'll feel a deep, soulful connection. And then they'll rage over something really small. You'll be like, what? You almost can't believe it. Because of your connection, you'll try to talk it out. You want resolution and to get back to good ground. But they do not want to understand you, nor resolve things. They want to control you. If they're jealous, you will make small adjustments at first to make them more comfortable, but over time, you'll cut off important relationships, change the way you dress and who you talk to, even business relationships. If your partner goes into a rage, you must understand the severity of this red flag. People who do this are adept at breaking you down, getting you to question yourself, and exerting control. At first, they'll return to the person you fell in love with, but in time, the rages will get more frequent, space between them smaller until that space disappears, and what you're left with is bad moods, tantrums, and insults. You'll never see the person you originally fell in love with again, unless they want something from you.
So, my rich babes, these red flags are nothing short of minor. They can be indicators of deeper issues that might affect your safety, mental well-being, or just overall happiness. Things like controlling behavior, gaslighting, or extreme jealousy aren't something to just ignore. They're creepy because they show a lack of respect for boundaries. It's easy to brush them off or tell yourself that you're just overreacting. But that's where we need to be careful. Ignoring these signs can lead to a bigger problem down the line, and you don't want to find yourself trapped in a situation that feels more like a nightmare than a relationship. Creepy red flags are often really small at first. It can be how he always wants to know where you are, or how he gets a little too angry when you don't answer a text right away. These are not cute. These behaviors are not flattering. They're signs that someone is controlling, possessive, or even dangerous. Trust your intuition. If something's off, it probably is. Your safety and your peace of mind should always come first.
Y'all want to know a couple of things that I found to be a red flag that this man has said to me? Y'all want to know? All right, so basically, this ain't my man. And when he say certain things, I be like, God literally is protecting me from this man, because a lot of stuff he say, I be like, I'm actually glad you're not mine, because this would not work if we was together, okay? So listen, one red flag he told me was like, oh, and he talks really fast, but you know, I'm a Scorpio. I jot everything down in the back of my head. We was talking about something and he was like, oh, you know, well, I had a girlfriend. Well, that wasn't really a girlfriend. I was just with her. Like, I was just using her to make my ex jealous. Basically what he said. I'm like, okay, I jotted that down. Then he was like, with his baby mama, he was like, oh, I'm telling all this man business. He was like, oh, and when she was in a labor and delivery and she was pushing out the baby, I was watching the football game. Huh? And I told him, I said, now that's fucked up. I'm looking at him like, what do you mean? I mean, what was I supposed to do? I can't push the baby out. Red flag. I told him I was basically having a conversation with him, and I was letting him know I don't want to be a side chick. Like, if you ever, like I told you, if you ever have a girlfriend, let me know and stuff. This man said face to face to me, well, what would you be able to do about that? If I wanted to cheat, how are you going to stop me from cheating on her? Because I'm a cheat if I. That's what he said to me. These are the things that he tells me, okay? Mind you, he's not my man. But why would I want to, and he asked me did I want to be with him. I'm like, why in the hell would I want to be with you? And then y'all, I remember when he first, his baby mama was first pregnant, he was at my house. When he broke the news to me, he was like, oh, and I have a baby on the way. You wait to get to my house, thinking we gonna do what we do, and you telling me she's pregnant at the moment? So, I mean, it's a lot of red flags with this man. I don't know why I'm still attracted to him after that, but one thing I can say is that I do not want a relationship with him. No.
Here is the biggest red flag you want to look out for early in dating to tell if he's emotionally unavailable. Be careful with this one, because if you can spot it early, it will save you a lot of time. I'm Valerie Adams. I'm a dating coach here to teach you the secrets to attract the relationship of your dreams. If you're into that, give me a follow. If when you two are talking about what you want your life to look like, or dreams or goals, and he is saying things like, I want my wife or my partner, and he's not also counteracting that with talking about the relationship and the type of partner he wants to be, this is a red flag. This is a sign that he's emotionally unavailable, because he is only focusing on what he can get. He is not focusing on a vision that the two of you or whoever he ends up with can create together. It's very focused on, what can I get? What can this do for me? You want to be with someone who is just as concerned with being an amazing partner to you as they are with what their partner will be.
Okay, so if he says this to you, run. Early stages edition. So this all applies to anyone you're in the talking stage with, someone you are, you seriously like, but it's just really early days. If you see these signs, run. If he says, I miss you, you've just met, you've just started talking. Maybe you haven't even had your first date yet. What does he miss? You just swapped numbers recently, and he's like, oh, I miss you so much. If you find yourself thinking to yourself, okay, that's interesting that he already misses me, please don't be silly. Don't get flattered. It's a love bombing technique. To miss someone, that means that you are used to their presence and they are not around anymore. Missing someone, you can't miss someone that you've just met. And even if it's not a technique, it's somewhat clingy. If he's not trying to come across clingy in the early stages, he is trying to love bomb you. He is trying to flatter you in very cheap ways, and you are not cheap. Someone using the tactic of saying they miss you when you've literally just met, it's just such a fuckboy red flag. You do not want a fuckboy. Run. Pet names. He's calling you my baby, my love. And remember, we're talking about early stages here. You've just met this person and already they're dropping baby in your messages. It's their way of claiming you already when he probably has many babies in his phone. Use your own initiative here, because obviously it's case by case. If a guy you've just met is calling you a certain pet name and it just feels a bit odd to you, it just feels a bit premature that he would start giving you pet names. You don't feel like you're to be claimed, if you know what I mean, just yet. Run. Lastly, if you get this text message, you up, you awake, run. Remember, please, I'm sorry, just could you keep in mind, this is not your boyfriend. This is someone you've just met. I know I keep repeating myself, just, if you get, are you awake message and you have not heard from him all day, just know you are not the only woman in his phone, and unless you're okay with that, just another fuckboy sign. Not only are you not the only woman in his phone, but you're not the first choice. You may not even be the second choice. The one he really wanted to speak to, I don't know, she fell asleep or she's not answering right now, so you're the fallback. And the worst thing is, if this person does pick up the phone eventually, if she does wake up, or, whatever this first choice is doing, as soon as she does this, he's going to leave you on red. If you get that message and you have not heard from him in a long time, run.
5 signs he's a walking red flag. Some men are just not worth your time, effort, or air. And you need to avoid these men at all costs. But in order to avoid them, you need to be able to spot them. So let's go ahead so that I can share with you the top 5 ways to show that he is a walking red flag that you need to steer clear from. The first sign is that he comments on your body. Compliments your physical appearance in a way that really isn't becoming of someone that you've just met. It is okay to say that you're pretty, to talk about your hairstyle, to even compliment your outfit. But when someone who is an adult male speaks about what your body looks like or how your body makes him feel, right? You have nice tits or nice ass or a beautiful shape or any kind of comment that is talking about your physical body, that is red flag number 1. Number 2 sign that he's a walking red flag is if he talks about his penis girth, his penis size, gives his penis a name, and wants to share this information with you. What's in his pants is not your business until you decide that you're going to make it your business when you're ready. But until then, you do not want to have conversations about his physical parts, right? Only men who are insecure or feel inadequate about the major things that they have to present to you rely on their penis size, and penis conversations. And this is an indication that he uses his penis to feel valuable and worthy about himself. And that's not a man that you want to do business with, get into business with, make your business, or have any business with. The third sign that he's a walking red flag is that he speaks loudly. He is always wanting to be seen and wanting to be heard, and you can hear him from across the room. This is an individual who is vying for the attention. He wants to suck the life out of the space. He wants all eyes on him. And that tells you that he's not a man who knows how to share the spotlight, who knows how to share the space, or who knows how to be in partnership. The fourth sign that he's a walking red flag is that he does not believe in commitment. Now, I'm not getting into all of the types of relationships that we can have, whether it's poly or monogamous or whatever it is, right? Ethical non-monogamy. We're not talking about the specifics of the relationship dynamic. What we're talking about is a man who is unwilling to commit to any type of relationship form. That's the dangerous man. Because if he's not willing to pick something and stick to it, then he can't be trusted. At any moment, he can change his mind and he can decide, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this anymore, because he does not have a foundation of commitment. And that means that there is no personal integrity. And the fifth major sign that he's a walking red flag is if he brags about the sexual experiences that he's had with other women in the past. You do get to talk about your past sexual experiences with a partner that you are moving into intimacy with, but you do not have to be specific about the individuals, about the acts, about the positions. But there are some men who take so much pride in their physical and sexual conquest that they want to share it with you, even if they're pursuing intimacy and sex with you. And there's a lack of emotional intelligence in this dynamic. Someone who's living in the past of their sexual experiences and still gaining a sense of excitement and thrill and passion from that means that when he gets into the space with you, there won't be the ability to fully connect to the intimacy that the two of you are creating. And the sex just won't be as good as you want it to be, or as good as it could be. He also may be looking at you as simply another conquest as opposed to a potential partner. I'd love to know what you think about this and any experiences that you've had that connect. So leave a comment down below and let's continue the conversation there. And if you're interested in coaching with me, tap the link in my bio to schedule a complimentary call.
This might save your life as well as your emotional well-being. This is the top 5 red flags that if you notice in a man, sis, you need to go. Coming in hot, we have anger problems. Date this man if you're looking to end your life. Now, the tricky thing about the anger issues is they may be difficult for you to notice at first. But once you get into any kind of dispute, argument, they will surface, as well as how he interacts with others. He raises his voice unnecessarily in a dispute. He punches walls. This man has no control of his emotions and he cannot control himself, and he will put you in danger. So the sooner you notice these issues, the sooner you need to leave for the betterment of your life. And if you have a life with him, future children, etc., go. Don't look back. Now, this one's gonna piss some people off, but number 2 is mommy issues. A good way to find out if he has mommy issues, ask. How's your mom? What's she like? What was it like when she raised you? A man with mommy issues does not like women. He does not like you. He does not trust you. He will sabotage a relationship and will most likely sabotage you as well. The best thing you can do is pray for him, recommend a therapist, and go. Dating a man with mommy issues is a special type of hell. It's not worth it. Number 3, we have a cheap ass. Notice I did not say broke ass, because a cheap ass can have a lot of money and still just not decide to spend it on you. Pay attention to how much he tips servers. Does he offer to do little things like pay for your parking or little things that may not be necessary, but does he take pride in paying for them, or does he run away from them? A cheap man is not going to change his ways, and the quicker you leave, the better off you will be.
It's giving little D energy.
Next, we have jealous/insecure men. Run. Run! This can manifest in several ways, from commentary on your appearance, your makeup, your clothes, your boobs, your social media, anything to take you down, anything that makes him feel insecure about your shine, your star power, your future, your career. If you do not get consistent, confident energy, or a man that wants to pour into you, he is most likely intimidated by the woman that you are, and he's going to try and minimize you. Don't do it. Run quickly. This person over time will wear at your self-esteem and wear at the way that you want to show up in this world. Go. The jealous behavior can be leading to stalker tendencies. It can be leading to, if I can't have you, nobody can have you. If he has issues with men approaching you, or he overreacts, he doesn't like people having their eyes on you in any capacity, this one is going to come as a surprise to you. But number 5 is someone that is too smooth. Now, I put this as number 5 because he is going to be hard to identify. When you first meet him, you're going to feel like it's a match made in heaven. This man has no fear when he approaches you. He has all the right words. He has you blushing from ear to ear. And his roster has 50 women on it as of right now. This man is a player. He is not trustworthy. He knows how to get in them panties real quick. And he is way too comfortable. He's been practicing these lines for his entire life. They may have been passed down from his brothers, his uncles, something. If he is too smooth, too slick, run. You want a man who has a little anxiety and nerves when he's approaching you. The guy that does not want to mess up, does not want to touch you too quickly, doesn't want to do anything to throw off your interaction. Now, the smooth man is not that whatsoever. I have a lot more. I might do a part 2.
This is the number 1 red flag you got to look for when hollering at a guy. This is going to save you a lot of time, energy, money, and spirit, girl. What's up? I'm Eli. I'm your TikTok guy bestie, personal development coach. I'm here to make you your best you in these streets. Now, there's a lot of red flags to look out for. I mean, a lot. But through my journeys of manhood and through my journeys of personal development growth and the big issues that I had to get out of my way to have successful relationships and see that in other men and see the constant issues, this is more than not the number 1 thing that applies to a lot of immature masculinity. I'm gonna break it down right now. Number 1 red flag is when you share a concern, when you share something, it is met with defensiveness. Defensiveness. That's right. Is this man defensive? Does he get defensive? Does he get angry? Does he get upset? Does he take everything so goddamn personally when you're just saying, boo-boo, I just want a text message and a foot rub? Because this says a lot of things about a man. A lot of things. 1, that he can't emotionally regulate at all. And 2, he cannot even have a conversation with you as a partner. I don't even care if this is early on. I don't care if it's dating. I don't care if you guys are on the first date. If he shows this, he is seeing you as a threat. He cannot receive criticism or receive anything out of his ego and shallowness and maybe insecurity. But I'm your guy bestie, personal development coach, so we got to break it down when it comes to you. How do we find this red flag? How do we deal with this red flag? It takes you being a little uncomfortable. Now, the number 1 thing you got to do, and the number 1 issue we find ourselves in dating, is we want a man in his masculine, right? We want him to take the action. We want him to steer that ship to the love city, boo-boo. And we're just chilling in the back, and he better turn left or right. But if he doesn't, oh my God, what is he thinking? What is he doing? We give this man too much power. This is how we end up in situationships, gray area, all that. What does it require? You. That's right. It requires you to speak up and share your truth. What do you want? How do you like to be talked? How do you want to share things? What kind of communication do you like? He could steer the ship, but guess what? You are holding the map. And it is up to you to say, hey, we should turn left or right. That would make me feel really safe. But if he does not listen, that's when you know gotta know how to jump ship. And if he's getting angry with you when you share what makes you feel safe, then it's really time to jump ship. Because more often than not, we don't share anything. Women, you don't share anything. We stay in it way too long. We end up getting resentful, and we're already a year in, and we just wasted a whole lot of time because this man does not want to hear any of it. And again, you could say this very early on. And you're not saying you better do this. No, it's just saying, hey, I would really love that. I love when you do these things. I love when you text me. I love when you give me back rubs. I would love a little more. And again, if he gets defensive, girl, I don't know if it's worth it, especially early on, because this one he should be at his best. The number one thing is, know that you deserve it. You deserve to speak up. You deserve to share what you need. You freaking deserve it, you beautiful thing.
The reality is not all red flags are obvious right away, but that doesn't mean that they're less serious. If your gut is telling you something isn't right, you owe it to yourself to listen. Don't feel obligated to stay in any situation that makes you uncomfortable. Prioritize your safety and well-being above all else. Remember, it's better to walk away early than stick around hoping that things are going to change for the better. As we continue our Halloween countdown, make sure that you're also paying attention to the spooky signs in real life, like creepy behavior from people you're dating. Let's stay vigilant and keep our glow up journey strong. Don't forget that there's still time for our 31% off the digital product at Rych Milan Co until October 31st with no code needed. Don't forget to drop a comment below if you ever encountered a creepy red flag, or if you have any spooky dating stories of your own to share. Let's support one another and make sure that we're all glowing up together, not getting ghosted by red flags. Stay tuned for another episode of our Halloween special, and as always, my rich babes, stay rich.